Let me tell you why you should not reach out to your ex. Because I know some of you guys are thinking about them like, oh my God, he look good. He been looking good lately. And like, maybe he's changed. He has not changed. Every single person gets to that point in their life where they start to reminiscence on their past relationships and start thinking about their exes and thinking, what if they were the one? Did I make a mistake? But let me let you know, that situation ended for a reason. See, I went through something similar last year. Like I was also reminiscing and thinking about a few people from my past. I was like, did I make a mistake? Could he be the one? I remember I was thinking about one particular guy. And I'm so grateful to God that a lot of my reflections, I always bring God into it, because sometimes you can be so emotional that you don't see things clearly. So I said, God, did I make a mistake? Could this guy have been the one? Mind you, I have him on Facebook now, and I see the way his life has turned out, and I don't really want to be in his life, and I don't want him in mine. But I was still very curious, like, because he's a nice guy, I guess. But he has not made some very good choices. So I was like, if I had been with him and we got married, maybe the trajectory of his life would have changed. That kind of thinking. So I was thinking, like, could he have been like a good match for me? Until God was like, knock, knock. You invited me in this conversation, correct? I was like, correct. And then God was like, okay, let's go down memory lane. And as soon as I started remembering some of the things that this guy used to do, I was like, there was no mistake. He was not supposed to be in my life. Uncle, you see that stage where you are at? Stage left, stay there. Sometimes we go through these relationships and they're so traumatic and they're so horrible and they're so bad. And the relationship ends. But then as time goes by, time heals all your wounds. And it even takes away the scars. You're perfectly healed and you even start to forget. And then 5 years later, 10 years later, you start to think about that guy like, or that woman like, I wonder how they're doing. And you're wanting that person back in your life and not realizing the reason why that relationship ended in the first place. Let me use an example. If you had a paper cut and it hurts, because some paper cuts really like cut deep, like they really hurt. You have a paper cut and your finger is sensitive, you have to put a band-aid on it. Let me tell you, you're going to be very careful with your finger, and you're going to be careful where you put your finger at. And every time you see a paper, you're going to have flashbacks of what happened to your finger. But as soon as the finger heals and the scar disappears, because every time you see the scar, it reminds you, I got a paper cut. Let me be careful around paper. But as soon as the scar disappears, out of mind, out of sight, you don't think about it that way. You go back to being reckless with paper. That's how it is. We date some of these people and they traumatize us and they do all kinds of messed up things to us. We end the relationship. We take time to heal our bodies, heal our mind. We get back to a good place. And because it's out of sight, out of mind, we start missing these people and want them back in our lives. I remember this episode of How I Met Your Mother. Ted is going through, the list of all the people he dated. And he's like, I wonder which one of these could have been like a good match. And he's mentioning one name. His friends are like, this is the problem with her. They mention one name, that's the problem, blah, blah, blah. So his friends are reminding him why he broke up with those girls, right? Because he himself, he had even forgotten like the things that were going on in the relationship. And then they mentioned one girl and they couldn't think of anything like, why did I break up with her? And then he has flashbacks, and all the flashbacks are good memories. And he's like, why did I break up with her? She was so perfect. And then he reaches out to her. First of all, this girl is so mad at him because number one, he broke up with her on her birthday. This idiot did not remember that he broke up with this girl on her birthday. So he begs her like, I'm so sorry. He goes through the whole like charade of like trying to win her back, blah, blah, blah. And then she falls for it and gives him a chance. And they start dating and everything is wonderful again until she starts to be herself. And then he starts to see those things about her that he didn't like. And then redumps her again on her birthday. This girl, unfortunately for him, this girl knows Krav Maga. If you don't know what Krav Maga is the deadliest form of martial arts in the world. She whooped that guy black and blue, okay? But that's what it is. A lot of us would think about it, some of our exes, and go, why did I break up with him? Why did I break up with her? She was perfect. He was perfect. But let me tell you, if that relationship was perfect, it would have never ended. How many of you just woke up, you're madly in love with each other and just decide, let's not be together? It doesn't happen. Every time a relationship ends, it's because something went wrong and you parted ways. So if you and that person parted ways, it means that something was wrong. It means that it was not working anymore and you need to leave it where it belongs. Here's another reason why you shouldn't reach out to your ex. Many times, these people are living their best lives. They've moved on. Some of them, it may have taken them a long time to heal from whatever happened to them. But they're finally getting to a good place and they're okay. Maybe they're dating again. And then here you come into their life, trying to get them to fall in love with you again. And then once they fall in love with you again, and then you remember the things that they used to do that you didn't like, and then you dump them again. Like, you re-entering into their life, you are reopening old wounds. Many times, out of sight, out of mind, doesn't necessarily mean that the person is like, it's not vulnerable to being hurt again, or it's not vulnerable to not feel the pain of what you put them through. And sometimes many of you coming back into their lives, you can reopen those old wounds. So it's important to just let them be where they are. Life has a way of bringing people together beautifully. You don't have to help life. You don't have to look that person up, track them down, do this or that. You don't need to do that. Because trust me, I do believe in the right person, wrong timing. I believe in that. So perhaps maybe they could be the right person for you, but it's not your job to make that ish happen because you don't know that. You don't know where they are. And plus, some of you guys are going to get your feelings hurt because you're going to reach out to them and they're going to be like, no. They're going to tell you they're engaged or married. Or they're going to tell you, you just don't do it for me anymore. How would you feel? I remember the story of this girl and this guy they dated. And then the girl, she didn't like the guy anymore. And so she just ghosted him. This guy was hurt, obviously, and he was just... But he found a way to heal. This psychopathic girl found his sister on Facebook, friended her, became friends with her, became so close with her that when the sister is getting married, the sister made her a bridesmaid at the wedding, and then she convinced the sister that her and the brother, who is the guy she used to date, should walk down the aisle together. I'm like, sis, what kind of evil human being are you? You broke this guy's heart. You ghosted him. You are the one who decided you do not want to be with him anymore, and now you're going through hell and high water just to re-enter his life, reopen those old wounds. Doesn't even make sense. I heard of another story. Guy just ghosts a girl, right? No. He breaks up with her through text message. The girl tries to get an explanation. She doesn't know why. Guy never responds. Like a month later, he sends the girl a text message talking about, oh, he's really sorry about the way things went and that his family is doing great. He's doing great. He got a raise, blah, blah, blah. And then he ends the text message by calling the girl his soulmate. Do you break up with your soulmate over text message? Some of you guys are evil. You are devils, sons and daughters of Satan. Leave those people alone. You're thinking about your ex, you're okay. It's a normal thing to do. You're thinking about reaching out to your ex, you're a son and daughter of the devil. Okay? Leave those people alone, especially if you dumped them. What's wrong with you? You broke their heart, now you want to go back and re-break them again. Please, daughter of Satan, son of Satan, leave those people alone. They're okay. Their mom is okay. Their daddy is okay. Their nieces and nephews, they're all okay. Stay out of their lives. If it's meant to be, God will bring you guys together. But don't be forcing your way into people's lives. Leave those people alone. So you're thinking about reaching out to your ex? Here's my solution. Don't. Leave them alone. Anyway, thanks for watching my video. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel. I'll see y'all next time.